It's 2025 and you still don't have a 3D printer. Don't worry, this video is for you. And if you do have a 3D printer, stick around. We might learn something new together. Hello everyone, I'm Eric and this is Rowdy's Prints. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. As you can see, I'm in the office instead of out in our print farm / garage. And today I'm in the office to talk to you about choosing your very first 3D printer in 2025. Now, whether you're thinking about starting a new hobby or you're thinking about starting a new business, you've come to the right place. There is a printer out there for you, whether you're looking to do toys, decorations, or functional prints. With that, let's dive in. Step 1. You got to start somewhere, right? What are you looking to do with your 3D printer? Are you looking to print models and figurines and smaller, more artistic, and more detailed objects? Then an SLA printer might be your speed. Or are you looking to print things that are more functional or larger or maybe a little bit more durable? Then an FDM printer might be what you're looking for. The most important thing here is to establish what you want to print. If you're looking to print toys for the kids and functional items around the house, then FDM printers are probably for you, and that's going to be the primary focus of today's video. That segues nicely into our next topic, which is the types of 3D printers that are available on the market today. As we alluded to earlier, there's SLA, or stereolithography, which is also known as resin printing, and this has been around for a while. Then there's also FDM printing, which is fused deposition modeling. I had to look all of these up, but this is the filament-based 3D printing that we all know and love. And that's going to be the primary focus of what we're looking at today, because most of the 3D printing businesses and most of the hobby prints that are out there today are geared towards FDM printing. I don't want to disparage SLA because SLA is an incredible technology and it's only getting better every year. The level of detail that SLA prints are able to produce now is phenomenal. The downside is for your first 3D printer, it's a steep learning curve and it has a lot of drawbacks environmentally speaking. Not so much the environment as a whole, but the environment in your house. It produces a lot of toxic off gases and the resin itself is not very healthy to be around. So not that I don't encourage people to learn it, it may just not be the first thing that you step into. Filament printers, on the other hand, have become, I don't want to say plug and play because it still takes a little bit of work, but they've become incredibly simple to use. Next, and this is probably the biggest one for most of you out there, and what you see typically is your barrier to entry to 3D printing, and that is budget. Whether you're looking to spend less than $100 or you're looking to drop a couple $1,000s, there is a printer out there with your name on it. Now, the lower end, at least in cost printers, such as the Ender 3 series, there's a whole series of Ender 3s, or the newest offering from either Creality, such as the K2, or the new Bamboo Labs printer that is yet unannounced, but the X1 series being their flagship right now. There is a printer out there that is in your price range, especially in the hobbyist or consumer market. Regardless of what printer you decide to look at and what line you decide to look at, the features that are most important for you, especially for your first printer: automatic bed leveling, which is almost standard on any new 3D printer; a filament runout sensor, because this protects you in the event that your filament spool runs out in the middle of a print. It allows you to insert another spool and continue the print where you left off; and build volume. The last one there is probably going to be the most important factor for a lot of you, because people want to be able to print large prints. Not that every print that you print is going to be huge, but you want the option, at least most people. The standard for most of the industry is about 250 millimeters cubed. There are printers that are smaller than that, especially in the budget category, and there are printers that are significantly larger than that. But as with anything, a Honda Civic is not going to cost you as much as a Chevy Suburban. So the more that you want to print, the more that you're going to have to pay. Inside of the FDM printing market, there's another distinction to be made, and that is the difference between a Cartesian printer or a bed slinger and a Core XY machine. Most of your Core XY machines are going to be enclosed or able to be enclosed. The benefits that come along with being enclosed are being able to print some more exotic materials like ABS, ASA, nylon, and others that require a little bit more temperature control than PLA or PETG. Your Cartesian printers, so your Bambu Labs A1s, your Ender 3s, those are going to be typically your lower cost machines. However, at least with newer firmware and new software, they're nearly as fast as their Core XY counterparts. The downside is that if you would like to print taller prints, your Cartesian printers are not going to be as reliable at those taller print settings. For the Core XY machines, since the bed does not move, and here's a good image and example of what a Core XY machine looks like, these machines are able to print taller objects without any issues like ringing or other problems that might have an issue on a standard Cartesian machine. Another thing to keep in mind, that once you've established your budget, once you've established the size that you want and what you want to print, you want to look and see if there is community support or official support offered for the printer that you are going to choose. The more common the printer, the more likely that you're going to find a community that is supportive and able to help you if you have any issues. If you choose to go with a company like Prusa, which has right now the Mark IV and the Core 1 as their newest line of printers, at least in the entry-level consumer market, then you're going to get some outstanding company-level support, in addition to an extremely large and loyal community to their line of printers. The printers not only have to have a good support from the community and a nice support from the manufacturer, but whatever printer you choose, you need to ensure that you're able to get additional parts for the printer cheaply, quickly, and easily. The biggest three manufacturers out there on the market right now, Creality, Bambu, and Prusa, all have ways for you to either get aftermarket parts or manufacturer parts from their website or from other community-supported websites that allow you to keep your printer up and running should you encounter any issues. Let's take a look at the offerings from these top three manufacturers and see which one is right for you. The Ender 3 series is an entry-level series of printers that comes with an entry-level price tag. The build volume is just a little bit below industry standard. However, it is sufficient to print just about anything that you would want to print on the market today. The Bambu Labs series of printers, either the A series, the P series, or the X series, are incredible. It is hard to go wrong with this line of printers, and personally, this is the printer that we chose to go with. We have in our print farm right now 3 A1s, soon to be an A1 Mini, and we have an X1 Carbon. The X1 Carbon was the first one that I purchased. I was a Kickstarter for it, and I love the products that they produce. The downside behind Bambu is that it is a closed source project. That means essentially there's not a lot of community innovation or additions that are able to happen without source code files for the printers themselves. You'll see this in the community mods that are available for the Prusa series line printers versus what's available for Bambu. Bambu is essentially a lot of clip-ons where the Prusa line of printers has modifications to software, hardware, everything up and down the line has community modifications that have been done to it because Prusa has made their printers open source and they are committed to doing so and supporting the open source community. And if that's important to you, then Prusa would probably be a good way to go. Looking at the offerings from Prusa, you have the Core 1 at the top of their consumer market, and it's an enclosed Core XY machine with a fairly industry standard build volume. Then you have the Mark IV, which is a Cartesian machine with a similar build volume, a little bit less in Z, but they both come with the incredible support that Prusa is known for, as well as a huge community following. Now, you have a general idea of what you want to print, how much you want to spend, and a few of the features that you might want to be looking for. So where are you going to buy your printer? Well, if you're on a budget, we'll start there, a very tight budget. We'll start looking at places like Facebook Marketplace and eBay for your finds. If you have a very good idea of the features that you want and the budget that you have in mind, Facebook Marketplace is a great place to look and see what's available in your area today. I'm not saying that everything on there is going to be a bargain. Anybody that's bought a used car knows that these products can have their own quirks, and there's usually a reason why somebody is selling it. Whether that's they've upgraded or the product just doesn't work or work for them, know that whatever product you purchase might come with its own series of gremlins or baggage that you will be left sorting out. However, if you like to tinker, if you like to learn about how things work, it's a great option, because I guarantee you, if you buy your Ender 3 off of Facebook Marketplace or you get one donated to you for free, you're going to have to learn about 3D printing. And that means you're going to have to be taking apart the printer, you're going to be upgrading the printer, and you will constantly be having to make adjustments to ensure that that printer prints consistently and at a high quality. If, however, you want something that's going to be as close to plug and play as possible, purchasing a completed printer from a company like Prusa or Bamboo, and yes, even Creality's K-series line of printers, will allow you to be up and running and printing within an hour of receiving your printer. I won't go over the setup and installation of each one of these printers because each one is just a little different, but almost all of the newer printers come with very detailed directions on how to set it up. For Bamboo, it's usually a QR code you scan when you open the box, and it takes you to a series of videos on how to do it. For Prusa, if you order the kit, there's a link to go to the kit directions, and they even include typically a pack of Haribo gummy bears that you're supposed to eat as you assemble your printer. It's kind of a fun game to play as you assemble the printer to see if you can actually assemble the printer before you eat all your gummy bears. I usually lose the game every time. Just know that if you purchase your printer from the manufacturer, you're typically getting that manufacturer's warranty, but you're also going to be paying a premium for it as well. So to sum it all up, and I know we've been very general about what to look for, but it's just about breaking the ice and giving you an idea of what and where to look. Choosing your first 3D printer comes down to understanding your goals. Okay, start over. So to sum it all up here, choosing your first 3D printer comes down to understanding your goals, picking the right type of features that you want on your printer, setting a realistic budget, and ensuring that you have good community and company support for whatever product you choose. If you want to pick a line of printers for a business, my recommendation is that you stick with one company and one series of printers if you are able. If you're not able, then at least do your best to stick with similar styles of printers that allow you to interchange parts as much as possible, because that is going to be one of the big things that you're going to be waiting on if you run a print farm and you have multiple types of printers. Trying to get those parts in time and in stock is a headache. Trust me, I've had to deal with it, and I've been dealing with it since I have multiple types of printers in my print farm. Now, here at Rowdy's Prints, we started with just one printer. I started with an Ender 5 Pro almost 5 years ago, and that printer ran for almost 3 years before I decided to upgrade and get a new printer. If you get established into the 3D printing community and you really want to go down the tinkering rabbit hole, I highly invite you to look at some of the open source community projects that are available, to include Voron and RatRig and some of the others out there that you build from either a parts kit or a sole source where you are the sole source for getting individual items to build an entire 3D printer. You'll never learn more about printing than doing it that way. But today, let's just take that first step and get started on our journey. If you have any questions, or if you want to see any specific recommendations, or if you have a question about a specific printer, please comment below. I'd be happy to have a discussion with you. Or if you want to see a printer in my print farm, I'll do a more detailed video about that as well. So please don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on those notifications so you can see more content from me. Happy printing.